What if the whispers about Quinton Post's absence in Summer League are the quiet prelude to a seismic shift within the Warriors' frontcourt, a signal that the Bay's foundation might be both fragile and fiercely guarded? Welcome back to Warriors News Fan Report, where raw truths collide with splash air of passion. Smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so your heart never misses a beat. Digging beneath the surface of what seemed like a simple Summer League snub. Here's the bombshell no one saw coming. Quinton Post wasn't sidelined because Golden State viewed him as untouchable or above needing game reps, but because an ankle injury from late last season flared up right before the California Classic in Vegas, forcing the team to pull back the reins and protect what they instinctively know could be a critical piece in their rotation next season. Danny Emmerman, catching a rare inside glimpse courtside during Summer League, revealed that while the Warriors were burning hardwood in Nevada, QP was holed up in the team facility grinding out shots and drills, sidelined from 5-on-5 clashes, but still locked in mentally and physically, building his basketball chess game a nod to his evolving high IQ presence both on and off the hardwood, highlighted perfectly by his surprising blitz in a Vegas chess tournament hosted by none other than Derrick Rose that drew NBA vets like DeAnthony Melton and Rajon Rondo. Quinton Post, in fact, bowed out only in the semis, but dominated the lightning-fast blitz rounds, showing he's a thinker and fighter who may soon bear even heavier load next year, no matter if the Warriors land another starting center or not. The stakes could not be higher because remember, after his January call-up when his contract flipped from a two-way to a standard NBA deal, QP was lighting it up, dropping 10 points a night through February and March, knocking down threes at a sizzling 42.5% and earning starter minutes 5 games in February, 7 in March, seamlessly slotting into a rotation that carried the Warriors to a 60-win pace. It's beyond clear the Warriors envision 20 to 25 minutes, plus a significant action from him, a role carved out under the glowing expectations of the Splash Brothers era's relentless hunt for perimeter-piercing big men who can stretch defenses and guard the rim. Yet QP's absence from Summer League also raised the question, what about the rest of the squad? Besides Post, familiar faces like P.J. Dozier, Trace Jackson-Davis, G-Lon Santos, and even Kevin Knox, remember him? Were on site, soaking in the sun waves of Vegas courtside bliss, disconnected from the grind for now, savoring an off-season that offered both rest and reflection, especially for Knox, whose season had flashes like a 12-point explosion against Charlotte, but largely came without the spotlight, sparking rumors that Golden State could yet retain him on the fringes via another two-way or bargain contract since only 9 roster spots are officially filled at the moment. But here's the twist in the tale. Despite widespread skepticism claiming this roster is a dumpster fire unworthy of carrying Steph Curry's lineage, the chef himself dropped a quote that might just recalibrate our expectations. The narrative outside versus the narrative inside might not always be the same ... I have a lot of confidence in our ability to put together a winning team next year. This isn't just PR fluff. Steph's voice, soaked in decades of playoff battles and clutch moments, carries weight in whispers of moves likely to shake up the roster further, whether that means landing Al Horford, re-signing DeAnthony Melton, or weaving in the next wave of talent. But then there's the Jonathan Kuminga saga, a story swirling with both promise and peril. A young star who exploded in that rough stretch of games after Steph went down against Minnesota, putting up 24 points, a night on 55% shooting, yet never quite fitting the Warriors' crafted rhythm, patched in temporarily to compensate for Curry's absence, but unable to translate those stats into wins as Golden State dropped all 4 matchups. And Kuminga himself, tangled in his own contract drama, demands $25 million a season, an ask that's cooling interest around the league, ironically making the Warriors the only ones truly desperate enough to meet that price. The Phoenix Suns have emerged as the latest suitor, looking to fill the void left by their failed Kevin Durant pursuit and eyeing Kuminga as the wing to propel their young core. But any potential trade is complicated by complex financial realities. Trade rumors flying from insider Brett Siegel mention two main proposals, one hauling Royce O'Neal and Nick Richards from the Suns for Kuminga, a deal that could keep Golden State's salary manageable enough to still pursue Horford and Melton, while bringing in solid rotational players, and another more ambitious, yet financially untenable, package including Grayson Allen alongside Nick Richards and future picks. That second deal stokes fire because Allen's $18 million per year contract for 3 more seasons will constrict the Warriors even more, making that trade a non-starter despite Allen offering higher upside. Golden State's front office is trapped in a chess game matching salary, managing roster spots, and balancing talent on the court, while chasing the elusive chemistry that built the dynasty's foundation but risks crumbling under financial strain and roster limbo. Could this ongoing Kuminga saga be the silent pivot eclipsing even the tumultuous KD era? The moment where a youthful talent either breaks free in a new land or becomes a cautionary tale of failed expectations. Meanwhile, post-injury and Curry's guarded optimism serve as the emotional fulcrum upon which the franchise's next season will swing. Can QP rise to the occasion after healing, shouldering the frontcourt burden in a new-look roster crafted around the reigning 2-time MVP? Or will the absence of established vets create vulnerabilities too glaring to mask? And from the stands in Vegas, where Post sharpened his mind between basketball drills and chess, matches to the whispers swirling in the front offices about what trades could finally tip the scales, the Warriors' offseason feels less like a calm summer and more like a brewing storm. As a lifelong Dub Nation believer, my pulse is racing just writing this, caught between the hope of witnessing a phoenix rise from these ashes and the dread of seeing another chapter close on our beloved dynasty. But is this the spark that reignites our dynasty, or the crack that fractures our legacy? Drop your unfiltered takes in the comments. I'll be right there, heart in hand. If you felt a chill run down your spine hearing that Quinton Post was grinding away in a chess tournament instead of grinding on a summer league court, then buckle up because we're diving headfirst into the eye of a storm that could rewrite the saga of our beloved Warriors. What if this isn't just an ankle tweak, but a crucible moment birthing a new identity for Golden State's frontcourt? We're not just talking minutes or contract numbers here. This is the tectonic hum beneath everything Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Kerr have fought to build since 2015. The luxury of seamless rotations and trusted veterans is vanishing like mist on the bay, replaced by the jittery dance of financial constraints, trade rumors, and raw, undiluted potential that could either ignite another dynastic blaze or crack the foundation wide open. Look at Kuminga of mercurial force, whose explosive run after Curry's injury stole headlines, but whose off-court contract standoff now looms as a sword of Damocles over the locker room. $25 million a year is no small ask, and it's become clear that the front office stands at a crossroads, so dangerous the echoes might still ring when the season tips off. The sun circling like hungry hawks isn't just noise. It's a silent threat to the carefully curated culture Warren Buffett-sized investments built. And the whispers about Royce O'Neal and Nick Richards as trade fodder? That's the horse. Bargaining echo bouncing through the Chase Center halls. A cacophony signaling a reckoning between desperately optimistic loyalty and cold, hard roster pragmatism. Meanwhile, post-injury magnifies every question if he's the anchor we hope for. Can he emerge from recovery not just whole but elevated, shouldering the dueling demands of modern big man agility and Splash Brothers era spacing? Does Kerr's hawkish eyes see in Quinton the next Draymond, cerebral defender and floor commander? Or is the team inching toward rolling the dice on external veterans like Al Horford, whose name carries the gravitas of championship runs and staved off decline? Meanwhile, the contrast couldn't be starker veteran mainstays like Wiggins and Moody, Warriors bearing the brunt of Curry's neighborhood firepower, eerily juxtaposed against hollowed spots of uncertainty that trace lines back to borderline. Forgotten talents like Kevin Knox still clawing for relevance on the fringes. Steph himself, the beating heart of this franchise, carries the burden of legacy like a double-edged sword. His public confidence masks the private weight of knowing that every roster shuffle, every injury timeout, every fading splash of the dynasty concentrates back on his shoulders. This is a chapter where the narrative inside these locker room walls rattles with unspoken tension, where chemistry must be rekindled amid fractures, where roles once clearly defined must be redrawn like cracked map lines. Is Draymond still the emotional pillar who defends every inch of the paint and every blade of grass? Or is this his twilight phase still fiery, but now vulnerable to the ravages of an ever-accelerating league? We see ominous signs in his recently. Public temper flare-ups and punctuated fouls, suggesting the fabled glue guy could be battling the wear and tear in ways no highlight reel reveals. In the shadows, Kerr and the coaching staff juggle lineups that feel part experiment, part trial by fire-pushing posts and knocks in developmental spurts, interspersing veteran savviness from the likes of Horford rumors and Melton's defensive tenacity, while endlessly cross-referencing analytics and unquantifiable heart to scrape together, a squad ready to carry the weight of expectations on their backs. Picture this, a Chase Center packed with the frantic buzz, not of a confident dynasty defending its throne, but of a team sketching survival strategies in real time. Each game a prove-it moment, amplifying the stakes and testing who's got the grit to crawl back to greatness. The unknown stretch from the paint to the perimeter, with Kuminga's looming contract saga tearing at the seams of locker room unity, jeopardizing the hard-won chemistry that once made the Warriors a lethal blend of precision and creativity. Can Golden State afford to keep a gifted but mercurial talent whose demands threaten to shatter cap space and force the painful departure of role players critical to the weave? Or will they gamble on the hope that Kuminga's potential transcends the financial quagmire, that his evolution could be the phoenix rise needed to offset the grinding losses of that fateful finals run? It's a gamble where the stakes are no less than the continuation of an era still defined by Curry's transcendent shooting, but now desperate for fresh wings. The financial tangle parallels the emotional turmoil, Grayson Allen's name dangling like a tempting yet toxic fly in front of management's eyes, with his contract size cracking open spaces, but offering upside that smacks of desperation more. Then design. The idea of mixing him with Nick Richards and future picks to pry Kuminga loose has front office wizards sweating over chessboards layered with dollars and dreams, knowing that one wrong move here could tip a delicate balance into chaos. And amid all that simmering turbulence, the heartbeat of the Warriors remains steely Steph Curry, whose voice reminds us that beyond the headlines and guesswork, there's a fierce belief still burning inside those locker room walls. But belief alone won't close the gap. The next chapter demands resilience, forged not just in practice drills or market maneuvers, but in a reborn relentless team identity that merges youth and experience, brains and brawn, hustle and splash. Imagine if Quinton Post comes back not just healed but more dominant, embodying that rare modern NBA blend of shot blocking, floor spacing, and gritty rebounding. Imagine if the front office cracks the code on a roster that balances Kuminga's explosive brilliance with veteran stability. Imagine if Kerr conjures lineups that blend Kerrigan basketball IQ with the raw, feverish energy of a squad fighting not just for wins, but for legacy redemption. That's the promise. That's the razor's edge that Dub Nation stands on right. Now, caught between heartbreak and hope, where every whisper from the front office could herald salvation or signal meltdown. Where every step the Warriors take is a dance with destiny. Where this off-season's game isn't just about signings and trades, but about rewriting the very DNA of a team whose heartbeat has become synonymous with golden moments and historic runs. From the courtside buzz in Vegas witnessing posts, chess genius to the code, calculating crunch of trade negotiations and the weighty silence of contract standoffs. This is more than basketball. It's a living saga of identity, trust, and grit. As someone who's ridden every blinding high, every gut-wrenching low, who's painted my soul blue and gold since we set that Warriors logo into the hearts of generations, I'm telling you right now, we're on the brink of a turning point that cuts deeper than any dagger's edge. This is the moment where legends can be made or forgotten in the midnight of doubt. So gear up, Dub Nation. Throw every take you have into the ring, no helmets, no facades, raw and real, because this story needs voices as fierce and fearless as the teams climb back to greatness. What's your boldest, unfiltered prediction? Who's the real deal in the locker room? Which trade will make or break us? Drop it all down below, I'll be there, shouting back with the fire only true Warriors fans know, ready to clash, defend, and believe, no matter what the scoreboard says tomorrow.